All right. They can hear us. We should be able to hear them.
I don't hear them. What are they saying? Are they saying get started with the Beastly Thought Show?
All right.
Yeah, I see the stream.
All right. Awesome. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Beastly Thought Show live. I don't know what episode this was. I didn't look beforehand.
We're old as hell. I just know we're really
105, maybe? Is it 105?
I
think it is 105. All right. Welcome to Beastly Thoughts live episode 105.
Sounds like a
That
radio
rhymes.
station. Welcome to 105, the Beastly Thoughts.
How's everybody doing tonight? How you doing, Brad? How you doing, Robbie?
Awesome.
Real good, man. Real good. I got a really rough situation finally behind me, and we're going to talk about that during the What We've Been Playing episode of the show today. But yeah, man, it's been a great week. I've been sick, and I'm one of the few guys you'll ever hear say I've had a great week, and I've been sick all week because I try to be an optimist, even though you feel like shit. You got to keep smiling and grit your teeth and bear it type of situation. So it's been one of those rough weeks. I've been in and out of work. I got razor blades in my throat. I'm afraid to walk around the house because I got wife and kids. I'm trying not to get them infected. It's like the early stages of a zombie movie. But
oh man.
But other than that, I've been having a good week. What about you guys?
Good, real good. I'm getting really excited for the Destiny update. Actually, April 12th is like right around the corner here, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening on April 12th. We get Dark Souls 3, we get the new Ratchet and Clank game, the Division. Anybody who's still playing Division, there's a big update for that game. There's a big update for Destiny. I mean, it's a big day for gamers, so it's a really exciting week.
I'm looking forward to, I'm actually looking forward to seeing some new Destiny stuff. I haven't played Destiny in a while, but whenever there's a new update or a new DLC, it always pulls you back in like day one. So I've actually had a few people talking to me in my comment section today about the April update and whether or not I was going to talk about it and play it. I'm definitely going to play it. Looking forward to that. Also going to get back into the Division now that I've gotten the pulling my teeth aspect of gaming out of the way for this week.
Yeah.
So with that said, guys, what have you been playing this week?
Briar, I'll let you go.
Why don't you start it off, Robbie?
Okay.
Go ahead, Robbie.
So this week, I haven't been playing too much. I've been playing the waiting game. Let's wait for Dark Souls 3 while everyone else has imported it. It feels bad, man. It feels really bad. It's been really hard to wait, but, man, I can't wait to get into it this week. But up until now, I have been playing a lot of CSGO on PC, because that game is a lot of fun. I mean, I told you guys before I got really frustrated because people are MLG at that game. Like, no joke. People have been playing it for a long time, but I've been playing more and more, and I've been able to hold my own, and that game is just a ton of fun. Really love it. That's been about it, honestly. I've just been kind of playing random stuff here and there, but overall, I can't wait for this week.
With CSGO, have you only done mouse and keyboard, or have you tried your hand with plugging in a controller and trying it out?
I'm pretty good with mouse and keyboards. That's what I've been using. I don't mind it.
I'm thinking that if you plug the controller in, you probably get raped.
No kidding.
Like that.
I was like, I'm not even going to try a controller. I'm okay with mouse and keyboards, so I'll give that a shot. Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, Mr. Rabbit, I'm pretty sure I know what you've been playing, so let me jump into what I've been playing. I've been playing, and I completed Quantum Break on the Xbox One. And I had a time with this game. I bought this the day it released. Didn't get a chance to play it until, I want to say, Friday. And I had it completed by last night. And it was a mixed bag, guys. It's one of those situations where I felt like I had to beat it, not because I was enjoying it, it's because I put in so much time that I didn't want to just walk away from it. This game is very similar to games like Infamous Second Son, where there's really very little replayability. There's very little character development. There's not a whole lot of good going on in this game. And I do applaud Remedy. I did do a review. That review went live this morning. I applaud Remedy for trying something new. It isn't a bad game. It just isn't what I consider a good game. It's an all right or fine game. And that's really the gist of it. I put probably 8 to 10 hours in on this game. It does include a 4-episode little TV series that works in tandem with the game.
It's like a lot of TV, right? It's like you sit there and watch it for like a good long time.
Well, it's about a half an hour per episode, and there's 4 episodes.
And the game just stops for that entire half hour, and you just watch it?
Yes. And so
yeah.
that was one of the issues that I had in my review, was that there's so many pacing issues with this game. You'll be in the middle of a firefight, using your abilities, using the lackluster platforming that's in this game, which is what I described as Geralt from The Witcher 3, drunk and lost in a Super Mario game. That's how the platforming works in this game. And not only that, the pacing, when you get through like one of the acts and all of a sudden you switch over to the antagonist perspective, you make one of two choices that affects the actual episode. Then you sit back and watch the episode, and then you come back. And there's tons of exposition in this game that also breaks up the gameplay aspect of it. You'll be in the middle of a firefight, and then all of a sudden you got this long, drawn-out cutscene with characters who you honestly just do not care about.
That's too bad.
And it's one of those situations where, I don't have a ton of games on my Xbox One, but whenever there's an exclusive that, Microsoft is touting and Xbox fans are touting and they're super excited about, I want to be on the ground floor, because I usually do the same thing with PlayStation 4, and it's just one of those situations where the game is just okay. If you're big into the Xbox community and you want to try something new, I would say give it a try, but I would say Redbox it. To me, it isn't worth the $60 that I paid for it. I did get Alan Wake for free with this purchase, which is okay. But once you beat the game, you only have 6 abilities, 6 powers throughout the entire game. If you guys remember Infamous Second Son, you had like that amount of powers with each individual power. So you get six abilities, and there's really no reason at all to go back through and play the game a second time, because there's only one ending. So
I thought there were multiple branching story paths. There's not?
No. The way that this works is, if you, at the end of an act, your perspective changes from Jack Joyce, which is a generic name for this generic character. It switches from his perspective to the antagonist perspective. And there are usually there's only 2 things that you can decide on. For instance, the first act, you decided whether or not to kill this young lady or to make her work for you and go to the news agencies and tell a fake story about the protagonist. And so those aspects of the story change, but the end result, the end of the game, does not change one bit. And there isn't a new game plus mode. It's very similar to the way I felt with the Order 1886. There's really no reason to jump back in and play this again. They don't give you much of anything. Now, I know the game's new. I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to add possibly any new, aspects of the game, DLC or whatnot. But when I played this, my wife, normally if I'm playing a single-player game, she'll sit and watch. She was watching Grey's Anatomy the whole time. She said, God, the game sucks.
Well, I mean, this season of Grey's Anatomy is hot. I mean, it's...
You're absolutely right, all right?
That girl's on fire right now.
But that's what I've been playing, guys. Quantum Break. If you guys want more of an in-depth review of my thoughts on the game, check out my channel. I did do a nice little review, and you guys let me know what you think there. But that's what I've been playing. It's a game, and that's what I'll leave it at.
All right.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of some people really like the game, some people are kind of mixed on it. Like, it's generally just been a mixed response, and I was really looking forward to it, but I guess, yeah, I mean, I'll have to try it out at some point, but I don't know if it's worth a full purchase like you said. So,
well, I mean, when you first start playing the game, you're introduced to this world and introduced to the characters, and after a little bit of reflection, you realize you really don't give a damn about anybody. I didn't care about, I'm just being totally honest. I didn't care about the protagonist. I didn't care about the side characters, his brother, the antagonist. None of that. There was no character progression at all. And on top of that, the progression of your abilities is so stagnant. You get all your powers within the first hour and a half of the game. And after that, there is no more. There's no reason. There's no growth. There's really no reason to push forward. And there's only 4 or 5 complete enemy types. That's it. 4 or 5 enemies you'll see throughout the entire game. Entire game. And so it's a rinse and repeat of the same enemies and a different map layout, and it just became extremely boring, and it became more work than fun. And, that's why I was happy to punch out when I got done with that review.
But you finished it. You finished it?
Yes, I completed the entire game. Yeah, hey, you know what? It would have been easier to beat this than beat what was the Assassin's Thief? Yeah, I would have much rather played this than played Thief. So, and you put
I told you to never bring that up again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have a thief command, actually, Briar. There, I just entered it.
Oh my
Just for you.
god, I have got to unmod you.
Oh, shit. Shit
But
just
yeah,
got
guys,
real.
it's a game. There's a lot of advertising going on for this game. Every time I go on YouTube, you guys are seeing this everywhere. A lot of people are really, really touting this game as something spectacular. And to me, being the honest gamer that I am, those people are lying.
Did you play
Because
any of their previous games, like Alan Wake?
Yeah, I played
And
on
you liked
360.
them?
Alan Wake. Yeah.
Okay, so
This-
it's
this-
not like you just don't like their style of game. It's just that this
This
is
one
just
didn't
subpar
work.
for that studio.
Well, I mean, there's so many aspects of Quantum Break that just don't work for me. You play an aspect of the game, you play a complete act, then you go to the television show. Now, when you get to the TV show, the main character is absent from that TV show. The TV show consists of side characters and side plots that work in tandem with the game. Now,
It's
keep
like
in
that
mind,
Marvel TV show about all the characters who aren't popular enough to be in the
Shield.
movies. Yeah, Agents of Shield.
yes, this is Agents of Quantum.
It's all the people you
but
don't give a shit about.
That's the whole point. I didn't give a shit about the main character, so
Oh,
you're
man.
not going to make me like the other guy with
That's
just
a real
the
bummer.
gun.
Lucky for us, there's a lot of new games coming out, so hopefully the palette gets cleansed pretty quickly for you, Beastly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy to normally take a game back and resell it, but I swear I'm actually considering it. My wife was like, "Why didn't you just buy Dark Souls 3?" And I'm like, "Oh." So maybe, just maybe, I'll get a quantum discount.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's recap. The characters suck gorilla balls. The gameplay is kind of So overall, 5 out of 10? All right.
I don't like to do the number thing. The way that I ended my review was this game would be a nice weekend rental. If you really want to play the game, it's only going to take. There's maybe 8 hours worth of gameplay, but they add the extra 2 hours in the form of the TV show, and that's added into your experience. But when when the Order 1886 was a 7-hour campaign, people raised Cain. So this is the same kind of situation. It's a very short game. There's really no reason to revisit it. It has some pretty neato mechanics. You got 5 enemy types to play. There aren't engaging bosses. And the gameplay, the actual atmosphere is very sterile. It's like a third-person Mirror's Edge. And so for me, all that stuff put together just made an okay experience. One that I'm definitely not looking forward to visiting again.
Well, I give your
Damn.
use of the word Nito a 8 out of 10.
Thank
Would
you.
use again.
All right.
Robbie, what have you been playing? Oh, you already said what you've been playing.
Yeah, Brian, what have you been playing?
I've been playing
Jeez.
Destiny. Imagine that, right? I'm getting really amped up for the April update. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff in here that has me confused, B, worried for the future of Destiny. But frankly, I'm just excited to get some new content in Destiny, a new weapon balance, a new sandboxing balance. I'm just excited. I'm excited for Destiny. I'm also really excited for Dark Souls 3, and I'm really excited for the new Ratchet and Clank games because I love Ratchet and Clank. That's one of my favorite series of all time. And I hope this game is good. Like I'm really hoping it's good. I haven't seen any early reviews on the net yet about it, so hopefully, all we can do is
It's not worse than it can't be worse than Quantum Break. So you can't go wrong there.
All right. I did play Battleborn. Have you guys checked out the public beta for Battleborn?
No,
Kate was
I
playing
mean
it
to get
today.
into that.
Kate was playing it this morning. My boys were playing it last night. I do have it downloaded and installed, but by the time I got done with my review and everything, I was pretty much, and being sick, I was like, I'm going to bed, and so I'm going to give it a try today, maybe after the show. Give me your thoughts on that.
It's pretty fun. I've really played limited amount of it, but it's pretty fun. I'm disappointed by the frame rate. It's a really slow, maybe 30 frames per second. Like, I think 30 frames per second might be generous on this game.
Ooh, that's rough.
I mean, it looks beautiful. Like, it's got that cell shading that, just makes it, like, really pop out. Bright, vibrant colors, obviously. It's a first-person light MOBA.
Like Borderlands?
More cell-shaded than I'd say even Borderlands is. Like, it's really cartoon-looking, but in a good way. I think it's really compelling the way it looks. But, man, that frame rate. I was playing on PS4. And I don't think I would continue to play it on PS4. If I were to buy it, I'd buy it for PC because that frame rate is brutal.
Ouch.
Yeah,
hopefully
this is a beta.
but-
It's a beta. So, I mean,
Things can change.
things can change.
I mean, the
but
game
I like it.
definitely
I
looks
like
fun to me.
the gameplay loop of it, the shooting, the number of characters, like that intrinsically is fun to me. So that they're on the right track. Like the game is fun, but I don't love the frame rate. I like the game though. All right, let's do news. What do we got for news this week?
Leaked concept art suggests the next God of War game will be based in Norse mythology. Kratos will return as the main protagonist.
Did you
God
guys
of
see
War
the concept art?
4K, anyone?
No, I haven't seen the concept art. That sounds awesome.
It actually is very cool. Like, I'm very excited for it. Other than the fact that Kratos is returning, I don't know how I feel about that.
He
Like,
has
I
a
hope they
beard,
change
too.
his character.
He's got a beard.
He does have a beard. That's a good point.
Yes.
Beard hype.
Robbie
Awesome
can't
beard.
play this game.
Dude, I'm psyched. It's not Greek mythology anymore. They're changing it over to Norse.
Yep.
That's the kind of fresh look at that series that actually made me really excited for it.
Yeah.
Where did these
I gotta tell
screenshots
you-
leak from? Do you know?
It was on NeoGAF, and I gotta tell you, like, I looked through a lot of the concept art. A lot of it was like this bright green, lush, like forest, and there was all these really cool things going on, and it looks awesome. And this is exactly what I wanted from God of War, for them to take a fresh direction. And I'm hoping
fresh,
that they at least change up the combat system as well. That would be awesome. I'm hoping they do that too.
That has room to evolve, definitely. I liked the God of War series in the past. Like, it was a good series. But it got stale after a while, right? Like, it just felt like they tried to kind of beef up on like how epic the scenery was and how big the boss battles were, but the combat kind of remained the same, and
It was repetitive.
you kind of felt like the story almost started repeating itself as well. Like, I don't even remember the story from the last couple of games.
He was mad in every game. That was
Yeah,
the
he
story.
was super angry. Like, the dude
extremely pissed off.
Dude needs super chill pill.
Ares! He just yelled at everyone.
Hey, check out some Xanax, man. I think it could really help you out.
Maybe he needs to talk with old man Greg. Let's straighten him out.
I don't advocate drugs, but maybe a blunt might be for you, man.
He needs to relax a little.
Little medical marijuana for Kratos, I think.
So I got a question, guys. If they do go this direction with the Norse mythology, do you think they're going to just retell the same stories in Norse mythology and it'll give it just a whole new feel?
I hope not. I hope they take a new direction for this series. Like, I mean, even the boss battles will be different because you'd have gods like Thor and Loki and Odin and stuff like that. Like, I think there's a lot of potential for this. And obviously, we haven't seen the game. It hasn't been announced. But from what I'm hearing, this is a good groundwork for this. I'm excited.
I would like to see a similar or even the same story sold in this different form of mythology. It would be a different story. And of course, they'd have to change the dialogue and different settings and things, but you would know the story, but it would be so fresh and new in a way. I think that would be interesting. But that's just me. You know, I love the original God of War series. But I think the last one was really, really good to me. So I guess time will tell. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, probably reveal at E3 if I had to bet. I think that'll definitely be a thing.
Do you think the God of War 4K name would help sell the PS 4.5, guys?
Haven't we talked about this? Is this in the news today, 4.5K?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't
so
think we have any news on that.
Here's the deal, right? I think we've talked about this on recent shows. I do believe that there is going to be a new PlayStation 4. It is
Absolutely.
not going to game at 4K, though. It may be able to display at 4K, but that's going to be an up-res. Similar to if you have a game that is natively 720p, but it can output as 1080p just to please your television. That's what the 4K will be doing.
They've already they confirmed that. Yeah, we're
Okay.
just saying now Sony's actually confirmed.
All right, so-
and they've also stated that this in no way, shape, or form means that games that are released post PS 4.5 will run native 4K. Their games are all going to be upscaled to 4K.
which your
resolution.
TV does anyway. So basically, it's a non-feature, right? If you have a 4K TV, you put a 1080p signal into it, it upscales that signal to 4K.
But on the business side of it, though, because most people in the world, layman's gamers, aren't going to really know that difference. If they threw the name or the title God of War 4K,
That's just
technically it'll be
deceptive
upscaled to
business
4K.
practices, though, in my opinion.
Do you think that Sony and Microsoft are above that kind of business practice?
I hope so.
I mean, looking at the past,
Because that's deceptive. That's deceptive.
yeah. I don't think it's above and beyond the possibility of these companies, though.
I
These
think
guys
it
are
is.
doing
I think
everything to take money.
gamers would be really upset if they started marketing games that like with 4K in the title. I think gamers would have a freaking conniption because they have conniptions over now if a game runs at 900p.
Yeah, but they're already doing that. They're already branding this thing as a console that's able to up-res at 4K. If it's not true 4K, but it's something that they're using. It's something that everybody's talking about.
That's
4K
okay because that's not as deceptive though, because if it can play 4K Blu-ray and if it can play Amazon 4K and Netflix 4K, then they can say this is the PlayStation 4K. They can use that
You're
as a
absolutely right. Yeah,
differentiator.
okay.
But if they put that on the box of a game, if they say it's God of War 4K and that game runs at 1080p but is up-resed, that's fucking deceptive.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
You're right. You're right. I didn't look at it that way. One for Briar, -1 for Beastly. All right.
How about one for gamers?
2 for Briar. All right.
Yes, there you go.
So continuing on, guys, and this is more NX news, and this is starting to kind of make me think that NX has their eye on VR possibly. Nintendo has filed a patent for a device that can detect objects in the real world. The project, and project them in the virtual world. It's possible this device may be related to the upcoming NX console. So they're able to see things in the real world, project them into the game world.
Like an NFC reader, basically.
Does this sound like VR in any way, shape, or form to you guys?
It
No,
could be.
it's like
But I don't know.
it's different, right? So how are they going to do this? Are they doing this as a camera?
It's like a little device. Basically, it has like a camera that mirrors an object, and then it's supposed to project it into like a game or something like that. Like, this is simply a patent. We don't know. Like, I was confused when I looked at the thing. I'm like, I don't understand this, really.
That could be cool, man. If you could bring more real-life world stuff into the game you're playing. Like, I remember there was, this is way back, but there was a Doom level that was basically a kid's room, and you played Doom in that kid's room. Maybe it was Quake, but I can't remember exactly what game it was. But it was like there was a bunk bed and like a desk and like a stuff you'd find in a kid's room, and that was your arena for battling out. Like, that kind of stuff would be really cool. Like, if I could put that little R2-D2 in my game, or I have a ghost back there,
sick, yeah.
Like, how cool would that be? Is to have like stuff that you know and love. Or I always dreamed of having a shooter that was hooked to Google Maps, so you could play like Call of Duty in your neighborhood. How cool would that be?
There'd be lots of real shootings in your neighborhood, though, with these fucking cops nowadays.
No, but I mean, the game would import your neighborhood, right? So, like, if you wanted to play Call of Duty with your friends, you could play your neighborhood could be the map that you play on.
Insane.
How sick would that be? Like, there's a lot of different ways they could use, like, reality and bring it into games. It's not just about bringing like VR, putting you in the game. It'd be nice to bring in like all your surroundings and all the things you're actually familiar with and put that in the game, because that would make a game much more personal and hit you at a deep level, right?
Yeah. I just shot this motherfucker in my backyard. I mean, how
I
awesome
told
is
you,
that?
Bruce, not to fuck with my garden. You be stepping on my roses, man. I work hard on those roses.
Yeah. The shit talking has reached a whole new level with this new imported VR. That's really awesome. All right, guys, continuing on. Gears of War 4 has a release date of October 11th, 2016 for the Xbox One.
Looking forward to it. That beta's starting soon.
I'm excited for this, and I'm being totally honest. I can't wait to see it. After what was this, I just want something really awesome and epic on my Xbox One. And I'm thinking Gears of War will probably be, they're starting to kind of leak details about the protagonist and little tidbits about the story. The game art, we know the game looks really good and I guess kind of scary, and that kind of scratches an itch that I love. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. I love the Gears of War series. I'm actually continuing to play Gears of War 2 on my Xbox One, backwards compatibility, and that game is really, really awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, you know it's going to be good, right? Like, this is developed by Canadians. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good selling point right there.
Is
Developed by Canadians.
Every
Whenever you
time
get
they
the
shoot
game-
somebody, they're gonna say sorry afterward.
Didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
You can't open up the damn.
They have to apologize after every locust they kill.
Syrup everywhere.
What's
Alright.
next?
I'm trying to. I lost myself. Doom Open Beta and DLC Season Pass have been detailed. Robbie, would you like to elaborate for our viewers?
Absolutely. So we got an article here courtesy of IGN.com. id Software's new Doom will receive an open beta starting next week, April 15th. Publisher Bethesda has also announced that the game will receive free DLC plus 3 paid content packs after launch. The open beta will run from April 15th to 18th and will not require a code to join. Like the recent closed beta, it will be multiplayer focused, allowing players to try out Team Deathmatch and Warpath modes on the Heatwave and Infernal maps. As for DLC, Bethesda will be updating both multiplayer and user creation mode Snap Map with free content, including new modes, AI enhancements, and map modules. 3 paid packs of DLC will also be offered, each priced at $14.99 or included with a season pass for $39.99. There you go.
Briar, please download this.
We gotta play this beta. Oh
please.
my god.
Please download it. Just try it one time.
All right.
Just one game.
He's a
Just
Doom
try
fan.
one game.
Totally will. Yeah.
Oh my god! This look. I didn't even know about this. Holy shit! I think I'm pissing myself right now. I'm so excited, man. Doom, that game did something for me this year, Robbie. It's a feeling I haven't had in a long time. In any first-person shooter, it just feels new. And like you guys
fresh.
said last week, it's old, right? Briar, you said last week it's kind of the old school way that the Doom used to be, but everything has just kind of gone its own direction and moved further and further away from the original. That now we get the original in new modern settings and new hardware. It feels brand new. There's nothing like it. I'm going to play that for the entire 3 days.
I can't
I'm
wait.
so excited, man. That game is so good.
So
If
last
that game
week
is
I was
up
on
right
the
now-
Say No to Rage podcast, and they asked me, "Does this game have staying power? Like, is this the kind of game that you'll play for a year?" Right? What do you
Yes.
guys think about that? Is this the kind of game? Is it like a Call of Duty that you'll just play for a year, or a Destiny that you'll play for a year? Or is it just going to be a flash in the pan? It's fun for a couple of weeks, and then you get bored with it and you move on. Did Skype crash? All right. Hello?
Skype is messing up for me too. Yeah, are we okay?
Yeah.
We're
good.
back. We're back. Let me answer your question. I was doing a never-ending head bob there. I think it definitely will. Just for the little bit of the closed beta that I played, it was so damn fun. And you got to keep into account that there are levels. You can actually create levels and kind of breathe your own originality into this game. And
That's awesome.
If that portion of this game works and runs as smooth as the closed beta or this open beta hopefully runs, there's no way possible this game won't be huge within a year. I mean, huge.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll last like a Call of Duty lifespan, but I think it'll definitely last like many months. We'll have to see, right? Like the game isn't out yet. It depends on how the leveling works, how much there is still to do. But I can tell you right now, the multiplayer, just the base level is fantastic. It absolutely could last a long time. I think there's potential.
The good part of this is we already know that the multiplayer is going to be amazing because we played it. And everybody who I've talked to or who's played this portion of this beta has had nothing but fantastic things to say about it. Now, the only aspect that I'm kind of wondering is if they're going to change the old dynamic of what made Doom, the single-player campaign. If that's as fun as and engaging as the multiplayer, it's a fucking win-win for everybody. You guys let us know in the comments, did you play the Doom closed beta? And please leave your thoughts because it blew me away. It knocked my socks off. My wife's socks are still like on the ceiling in the living room. Oh, that wasn't from the game. Okay, but it was still a fantastic time. You guys let us know in the comments.
Not gonna lie.
It's okay for a game to be fun. It doesn't. Every game doesn't have to be super deep, right? It doesn't have to have leveling up systems. It doesn't have to be a MOBA or an MMO. Sometimes it could just be fucking fun, and Doom seems like it's going to be fun.
It's going to be fucking fun.
Yeah.
Jizz your pants fun.
All right, what's next?
All right. Fable Legends, the canceled game for Xbox One and PC, may still see the light of day. According to sources, staff from Lionhead Studios are planning on reforming under a brand new independent studio to finish development on the game. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
What's the next story?
Briar.
I couldn't care less about this game. This game has like zero interest for me. I like Fable 1 and Fable 2, but from what I've seen of this game, like there's just no attraction for me at all. And here it was canceled, and now it's getting revived. It's like I don't care.
I'm happy that Lionhead is still together. That's what I'm happy about.
Okay,
because they're a great studio.
Well,
but yeah,
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't even know if I'm really happy about that because they've been working on this game since like 1989 and it still didn't come out. And on top of that, it didn't look as good as Dragon Age Inquisition. And Dragon Age Inquisition was like the cream of the crop for that year. This game was showed way back then, and they were finally getting ready to release it. And Microsoft looked at it and they probably said, hey, this game isn't fun. No, thank you. So that's really the story, man. I'm not really into it. I think that the Fable series had its a calling and it had its own niche gamers that really enjoyed it years ago. But I think that as time progressed and gamers have kind of grown out of that, it's kind of a forgotten thing. And I'm not really excited about Fable at all. It has to be something totally new for me to enjoy it.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll come back, maybe it won't.
All right, so let's just start making up news. Quantum Break, the best-selling Xbox One game of all time. Thoughts, guys?
Is that all the news we got this week?
Nothing, man.
There's still more.
All right, let's go.
All right, so when I first saw this story, I was kind of like, this can't be true. But then I thought about it more, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably about accurate. So only 37% of gamers are aware of virtual reality, according to a recent...
Are you playing the drum on your computer? Every time you talk, are you doing this? My name is Rob. What's going on? I'm hearing
I might be tapping my mouse pad. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I should stop doing that. But yeah, 37% of gamers supposedly know about VR. Like, a lot of people seem to be in the dark about this, and I think this is probably true. Because, like, all of us know virtual reality, and obviously people who keep in touch with the news and stuff are going to know about this. But for the average consumer, like, it hasn't really been advertised.
Yeah, all right. So here's the thing, right? Stats, you can make stats say whatever you want. Is this the 30% of gamers, which includes 50% of gamers are women, which we all know means, like, people who play, games on their phones.
Candy Crush.
Or is this like 30% of gamers who play, $60 games on consoles or PCs? Like,
Probably
what
both.
kind of gamers are these? Because if it's 30% of gamers, including the people who play games on their cell phones, then that's probably pretty good, right? Because those people who play Candy Crush, they don't care about VR. They care about, their mobile game, and that's it.
Crushing
if it's
candy.
30% of gamers who play console games or PC games that have like Steam accounts or PSN accounts or Xbox Live accounts, that's a completely different stat, and that's really bad. Because 30% of those people, that's not very good. 30% of gamers, though, that could go either way. I'd want to know, how are they measuring who's a gamer, who's not a gamer, before I even make a judgment on that stat.
Such a good point, yeah.
I actually know a few people, namely my family members who are my age and maybe a few years younger, who are heavy into the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One ecosystems, who had no clue that VR existed until, I think, last week. I had two of my brothers over last week, and I visited another one, I think last Friday night. And during these visits, I actually started to talk to them about PlayStation VR, Oculus, HTC Vive, and they were like, what are you talking about? And I was like, have you seen these commercials? Have you seen any advertisements? They're like, no, what do you mean? And then I show them videos, and they're like, oh my God, I'm totally in. So I think that the 37% they're talking about, it might be actually a true number. I think that the advertising of this hasn't really hit the masses, because it's not like you just turn on your TV and you see a VR commercial. It just doesn't happen.
It's very hard to communicate that too.
Yeah, you can't really get it across on a flat screen what people are really seeing and experiencing when they have a VR headset on. So I think that the thing that's going to advertise this the most is going to be word of mouth.
Yeah.
I think that once people start getting
there's got to be games too. I mean, right now there's just a bunch of minigame collections. So you buy a $600, $800 headset, and all you get is minigame collections that take you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All you get is
So
Thief.
they gotta get the software out there. I mean, this is really bleeding edge stuff right now, and it's not ready for the consumer. To be honest with you, it's not ready to go mainstream. They need to develop really good software for it, and then it can start hitting newspaper articles, Super Bowl
Mainstream,
commercials, that kind of stuff where it can, then players can more casual gamers than the people who read, IGN every day or watch, gaming enthusiast shows, stuff like that.
Gus. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when people will start to adopt it. But right now,
It'll take
it's
time.
overpriced. It's got no software. It's not
a
time to
brand
buy
new
it.
technology.
Yeah, it's not time to buy it.
Exactly. It'll
speaking
become
of-
more mainstream over time.
And this next article, it'll probably become a little bit more mainstream when things like this happen as well. HTC's Vive VR headset will soon be available to purchase in Microsoft and GameStop stores.
Absolutely. That will help get the word of mouth out when you can go to your local GameStop. Some mom and pop says, "What's this virtual reality thing?" And then they get it explained to them, and they're like, "Oh my God, this sounds amazing." That's how people are going to gain awareness of this. Yeah.
I think that once people start seeing that, a lot of people have money and a lot of people just don't have the knowledge of what's going on in the gaming world. There are probably every day 10 to 20 people who walk inside GameStop and they have an extra $500 to blow on nothing. And if those people start to see the Oculus Rift or PlayStation VR or HTC Vive sitting around, they start picking up pamphlets and seeing what it is, these things are going to start flying off the shelf, man. And the word of mouth, I think, is what's really going to get the VR movement.
They got to have an application, though. They gotta have.
Yeah.
They gotta have something that. They
A
gotta have
killer
a
app.
reason to use the technology. Right
Thief
now, I don't
is
feel
a
like they do.
killer app. That's what they need. They need Thief. That's a killer app.
Why are you messing with
ban
Mr.
you.
Rabbit? You see
gonna
him?
hang up on
You see
him
how
right now.
serious he is? You see the steam coming up on his glasses? You better chill out, man. He's going to end up fucking you up. Ooh, he got banned by the rabbit. Oh, shit.
Just saying, it's a good game.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
On some planet.
I think it is.
All right, what's next?
This is the last little bit of news we have today, guys. It's been an unfortunately slow week in news, and
Kinda
it
has
seems
been.
like the news outlets have been sick just like me all week. Microsoft says that the company's cross-network play, which will connect Xbox Live and other networks such as PSN together, is ready to go. It's now up to other developers and publishers to accept the open invitation. Do you think anybody's going to accept?
I hope to God Sony accepts. Please do this. I know they probably won't, but please do it.
I would love it if they did, but I just don't see any reason for them to do it. I mean, just
That's
to be totally honest.
I mean, I see that they'd get goodwill from gamers.
That would
But
be
they
it.
get less goodwill than Xbox will because Xbox is the one who created the initiative.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you view PSN as a social network, the last thing they want to do is share their user base with Xbox. They don't want to give up the reason for buying a PS4, which is all my friends have a PS4. I want to play with my friends, so I want to buy a PS4. Like they have more to lose than they have to gain in my eyes.
The time tested argument that you're going to buy the system that your friends are on will disappear if Sony agrees to do this.
Yeah.
Because you can buy whatever system, it doesn't matter at that point.
Right.
You know, if you
PS4, you can play Rocket League on PS4 against PC players.
PC,
You can do that right now. Oddly enough, if you have an Xbox, you cannot play against PC players.
They're initializing it and it should be up soon. So Sony was actually doing it first, and the same thing can be said about Street Fighter V against PC players. I play against PC players when I play Street Fighter V all the time. So this isn't something that's alien to PlayStation like a lot of people are saying. No. Sony has implemented it before. They did this back in the day with EverQuest on PlayStation 2. You could play against PC gamers way back then. So this is something they've done. You know, I don't think that it would be smart business sense for them to allow their competitors into their network.
Would you do it if you were head of Sony? Would you do it?
Totally honest, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a tough choice. I mean,
you know, Microsoft, like I said, no matter what Sony does here, Microsoft takes the win because they get goodwill from the gamers. You tried. If Sony says no, Sony's going to get all the hate. Microsoft's going to get all the love because from all outward appearances, they're doing something for the gamers. All Sony can do to combat this situation is explain why they can't do it and do something else for the gamers. That's all.
Or say we're open to it, and then they never have to say like, yes, we're in, because then they won't be saying no.
They've already said that. And it has to be their PR team has to be on top of this, because if they just outwardly say no, we're not going to do it, how is their public appearance going to look? They've got to give a reason. They got to have a reasonable reason as to why they can't go down that road, and how this bouncing ball could lead them into a ditch when it comes to bringing in money. Because PlayStation is their most valuable asset. They make more money on PlayStation than they do anything else. And for them to jeopardize PlayStation sales by allowing people on PlayStation to play against gamers on Xbox, rather than having those same Xbox players buy a PlayStation to play with you on PlayStation, they're losing tons of money. And anyone who's like in the higher ups at Sony definitely is looking at that aspect of it, that if these people can now play against PlayStation, they're not going to buy PlayStation. It's just not smart business sense. It's not a good business move. And as much as I wish Sony would do it, I understand them not doing it. I wish that in the perfect world that this situation didn't occur the way that it did, and it always had been this way where we could play against whoever. But when it comes down to business, it's about money. It's about selling units. And I don't think that it's a reasonable assumption to think that Sony's going to move forward with this kind of move.
Well said.
I mean,
yeah.
And another thing is Microsoft, if they had been in the same boat as Sony right now and had been millions of sales ahead, would they have ever even dreamt of coming up with this idea?
They weren't going to do
Probably
it in
not.
the Xbox 360 era. I can tell you that.
Absolutely not. So, I mean, this is, people will do anything when they're desperate. That's, and that's where you got to watch people. When even companies, when you're really desperate, you're losing, you're going to try anything you can to survive, to appear, to appear better off than you actually are. And this is one of those things. Microsoft is really trying everything. We're going to put our games on PC. We're going to do this. We're going to open up our networks. Sony can come over and sleep with us if they want. But to me, it's kind of a desperation move. And I hope Sony has the patience to look at this and maybe in the future work out a play or a plan that this can work with certain games and maybe not totally affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're a little light on news, but we got a little time left in the show. Should we open it up to chat questions?
Absolutely.
All right. So
I was
guys,
actually going to ask.
in the chat, just type in your questions. We'll pick some questions out of chat and we'll answer them here live. That should be fun. I'll give you guys a chance to type some questions.
And in the meantime, Briar, what type of beard wax do you use? I see it.
I go
really,
all
really
natural,
beautiful.
man. Nothing. It's all just dried out, and I
Just berries and
I use
juice?
shampoo and conditioner. Well, it's a combo. It's the shampoo plus conditioner. The Perp Plus, if you wish to brand it.
You should go to the Nigerians and let them braid that shit, man. Look like a thumb.
That's
Dude, my
braided
wife
beard.
has braided it. My wife
Yeah,
has braided
dreadlocks.
it, and it if I leave it like that after 20 minutes, it starts to hurt.
Oh my god. I have a quick question for the chat, actually. I want to know what you guys are going to be playing this week. Are you going to be playing the Destiny April update, Division, or are you going to be picking up Dark Souls 3 or Ratchet & Clank? Let me know in the comments, because I am definitely going to be playing a lot of Dark Souls 3 this week, and definitely going to be getting back into Destiny. I'm interested to see what chat has to say, what you guys are going to be playing.
All right,
So
let's
are we
pull
ta-
some
are we ta-
questions out here. Will you shave your beard on stream? For the right price, I would do just about anything on stream.
Can you imagine? On charity, one day. We'll do it. That's true.
What are you offering, Oberon?
What's the offer? We'll do it together, Briar. This is 4 months,
BSB
bro.
Destiny writer leaves after 13 years. People leave. 13 years is a long time to work at one company.
That's so true.
If he was fired, I think it'd be bigger news. But somebody just leaving, maybe not.
Okay, I'm seeing Destiny, Division, Destiny, mix of Destiny and Ratchet & Clank, Dark Souls 3 and Destiny.
Night
Nice job.
Stalker, have you seen the new Trials reskin? What are your thoughts? It looks exactly like the old Trials armor, but now there's some blue in it. I'm a little disappointed, frankly.
So just put some blue sparklers on it, and then that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Necro Eric asks, any thoughts on Warframe? I wish Not Too Nerdy was here for this. Huge
Yeah.
new console update. Mention Warframe. Does anybody here play Warframe? I messed with it a little bit when the PlayStation
When
was a
4
fun
first
game.
came
PS4
out.
just came out.
Yeah, it
Me
was
too.
pretty cool. I have not played it. I mean,
Yeah.
in 2.5
The-
years now.
This is the thing, right? And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people feel, and I know this is not the right way to feel. When Warframe first came out, I was more interested in buying Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts. What else did I get? Something else. And I wanted to
Nah.
actually play the games. Shut up. I wanted to actually play the
Stellar.
games I was paying for. and it was a free-to-play game, so I didn't give it much, I didn't give it the respect due, because I see a lot of people still playing it, enjoying it, and
It's got a
obviously
huge following.
There's a lot to that game because people have been playing it from day one and still enjoying that game. It's one of those situations, like so many games I have, I wish I had spent the time to flesh it out.
I think it's a lot different now than it used to be, Beastly. It's evolved quite a bit over time. I was talking to Story Machine about it, and he's gotten into it in a big way, and he's really enjoying it. Now, it is a pay-to-play game where you got to buy all the stuff for it, but it is free. You download it for free, you can start playing for free, and then you buy more Warframes and stuff like that. So I might give that another shot because I'm pretty sure it's evolved quite a bit. So maybe next week when we talk about what you've been playing. I doubt it, though. There's so much new stuff coming out.
Every time you say evolve, I get a headache, man.
That game was rough. Let's not mention that. Yeah, I don't care to talk about it either.
Oh, man. I would love to see a new Left 4 Dead, though. Oh,
that would be good, yeah. Are you guys picking up Dark Souls 3 this week? Because I totally am.
Awesome. I don't know. I'll see what my timing looks like. I'm gonna be going on Destiny pretty hard, but Dark Souls 3 is in my future.
Yeah, I can't wait. I am so excited. Tomorrow night.
I would like to play that game while everything's getting discovered, though, to be part of that conversation. That's like a huge part of getting a new Dark Souls game is to like be discovering stuff and finding all the secrets hidden.
Bloodborne came out. It's like, did you find this? Did you find this? Like, it was so fun to talk.
What does this item do? What how does it help you? And like, it's fun to be part of that conversation as it's actually going live.
Now, I got a question for you, Briar. Speaking of games that you like to play, did you ever get a chance to finish Tomb Raider?
No, I still haven't finished it. No.
You want to start the Beastly Thoughts box, and I'll send you this, and you send me that?
No.
Don't worry, you don't want this.
Jeez.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Dark Souls as well. I probably would have never gotten that game. It wouldn't have even been on my radar if it hadn't have been for a little game called Bloodborne. So, From Software, thank you for making that game. I do have the original Dark Souls and Demon Souls on PS3. I played them initially just for 20 to 30 minutes. I was like, this is a game? What the hell? I don't want to just go through constantly getting killed and walking 5 steps and getting murdered. I'm done with this crap. I didn't understand what the draw for it was, and Bloodborne actually opened that door for me as a gamer. And because of Bloodborne, I'm actually really excited for Dark Souls 3. So thank you, Bloodborne.
I have very similar experience to you, Brett. It's almost exactly. I keep saying Brett because it says that in Skype.
Oh, that's fine. My name's Brett.
I'm looking at you, and I'm reading your name like right underneath it. Instead
of saying last name Big Dick.
That's really good.
Brett Big Dick. Good to know.
Yeah, Bloodborne really, I think for a lot of people they felt that way. I'm not really big, when it comes to listening to IGN, but Brian Altano, during one of their, what's the name of their PlayStation podcast? Podcast Beyond used to be my favorite. Now it's Podcast Beyond bad. But he was actually on that podcast talking about this game, and he was talking about how he had a really bad experience initially, and he stepped away from it, and people on Twitter were getting back with him saying, man, you got to keep going. You got to try it. You'll see. And he went back and played it. He said he had one of the most amazing and rewarding experiences he's ever had as a gamer playing Bloodborne. And I was so happy to hear him say that, because for the 2 weeks prior to that show, he had been dogging it out, saying, oh, it's not my type of game. And that game really opened up a lot of people, a lot of gamers' minds. It's something so different than you experience in your traditional third-person action-adventure game. But Bloodborne was awesome, and I hope that Dark Souls 3 is able to capture some of that magic.
Me too.
I agree completely with you guys. Yeah. I mean, I got Dark Souls 1 when it came out. I did not like that game at all. I just didn't get the draw for it. I decided to give Bloodborne a chance. It had been a couple of years, and I loved that game. I'm going to see if I can get further into Dark Souls 3, though, without quitting, because I got to Vicar Amelia, and then I was like, I'm done.
3, you get Dark Souls with it, right?
I think on Xbox One.
On Xbox One.
I got it on PS4.
Here's another good question. BSB in chat. What's the oldest game in your guys' collection that you would never give up?
I know this isn't that old, but The Last of Us. I feel like I'll never give that game up.
Come on, Robbie.
That game changed my life when I played it, though. It really changed me. I will never get rid of that game. I know that's not old, but yeah.
I got a few games in my collection that I wouldn't give up. I got Mortal Kombat on my Game Gear. That was a special game for me. Super Mario All-Stars, the original Super Mario World, Streets of Rage that says "Do not sell" copy on it from the
Did
Sega
you steal
Genesis.
it from Blockbuster Video?
No, it came with the original Sega Genesis. It came with it. Not for resale. Or maybe it did come from, I don't know. But it's old as shit, and I would never sell it. I would never sell my original PlayStation Pix. It's a purple disc that came with the original PlayStation 1 back in 1995. That was the very first demo disc ever released for any PlayStation system.
Ooh, before I was born. Wow.
I actually have 2 copies of it.
One man.
Copy I bought on eBay and it didn't work. But it actually has Jumping Flash as a playable demo. It has Tekken 1 as a video. You can actually watch Tekken 1. Games like Kalik, the DNA Imperative, Philosoma, ESPN Tricks. It has some really, really old PlayStation 1
sorry, nodded off
gems.
there. My bad.
Well, you have to be as old as me to appreciate this. But
Yeah, that was before I was even born, so I'm like, I
still have Halo Combat Evolved that I bought when I first bought my Xbox. That's what still remains one of the best gaming experiences of my life. That game was absolutely insane when I first played it, and I'll never get rid of that.
Overon in chat says you're just a scrub it from software games. That's why I got Bloodborne.
You're absolutely
That's
right.
funny.
I still have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on my Xbox, my original Xbox. That'll never be sold. Have you guys ever had a chance to play that?
What game? I'm sorry.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic for the original Xbox.
That game was great.
Oh,
Legendary.
God, it's so good.
That was a phenomenal game.
I've got that. I've got Jade Empire on my original Xbox. I would never sell my Shadow of the Colossus on PS2. That's a special game for me. Odin Sphere for PlayStation 2. I actually have that on disc. I would never sell that. I got some really good classics. Oh, man, I'm old as shit.
So this is a
Cersei
question
Nerd
that
asks-
is just addressed toward me, but I'm going to open it up to the table. Briar, do you not play Call of Duty anymore?
No.
So I pretty much quit playing Call of Duty when, 2 things happened at the same time. Advanced Warfare came out and I didn't like it. Destiny came out and I did like it.
And then Thief came out and you only played that.
It really was. It was just like
Perfect storm.
Yeah, these 2 things happened. I mean, my YouTube channel was almost entirely
Nothing but-
devoted to Call of Duty. I had a couple of series, like I did a lot of headset reviews. I did a lot of gaming news. But like the bulk of the gameplay that you saw on my channel was Call of Duty, and I played Call of Duty on a daily basis. I bought Black Ops 3. I bought Advanced Warfare. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like that game. I bought Black Ops 3. I did like that better than I like Advanced Warfare, but it doesn't have the same appeal that the old Call of Duty games had for me.
It doesn't
Destiny
pull me
is just
in.
such a bigger game than Call of Duty. It's just so much more interesting to me, being able to get exotic weapons and do raids with friends, and it just kind of took over my life. Destiny did.
Damn sure did. I was actually looking at your channel, Briar. I want to say this morning. I went back to your very first video.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some of your old stuff. Yeah.
Oh no.
But that's how I actually found out who you were. I was one of your subscribers, which I still am. And I used to watch, Kate and I would just watch you play Call of Duty. And we were just amazed, man. Just the way that you presented, whatever little bit of news you were talking about, usually it was Call of Duty related. And the gameplay was phenomenal. And it was just really, really, that's what really drew me to you initially, was the Call of Duty. And back then I was big into Call of Duty. I love Black Ops 2, which is probably my favorite Call of Duty game, but times have changed. Times have changed, and Call of Duty just doesn't represent for me what it used to as far as the fun factor. There's just so many other games that are vying for that attention, and for the most part, they're getting it. Until Call of Duty really just reestablishes itself as the king of the hill, there's going to be other first-person shooters out there that are holding that spot. And for me, that's going to be Doom.
Oh,
For sure.
Can't wait for that game.
All right.
What about you, Robbie?
He's got another one in the chat, and I'm going to ask it. How many gaming systems do you have? I want you to go last, Beasley. Robbie,
That's
how many
true.
gaming systems do you have?
So I have a PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, which hasn't been turned on in about 2 years, and PC. So,
PC? That's
yeah.
it? You don't have
All the
anything
current
older?
platforms.
You
No,
don't have a
I used
360
to
or
sell
PS3?
them and upgrade.
Oh,
No.
really?
Yeah.
All right. I have a Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I've got a TurboGrafx 16.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've
That's
got
old.
a Sega
Fuck.
Genesis, I don't have the Sega CD anymore. I don't know what happened to the 32X and the Sega CD. I must have gotten rid of them at some point. I've still got a Nintendo 64. I don't have a GameCube either. I was actually wondering if I still had a GameCube, but I don't. I've got the PS3. I've still got an original Xbox. I don't have a PS2 anymore. I don't know what happened to that one either. I think I lose these things when I move sometimes.
Damn, whoever moves into your old place, there's 3
Quick
Xboxes in here.
And then obviously in the house here, we have like we have like the new Nintendo DS. We have the Nintendo DS. We have a couple of PS Vitas in the house. We have a Wii U, a Wii. We have a couple of PS4s and one Xbox One. We got a bunch of them here, but I bet Beastly's about to go ham here.
I'm not going to get into all of it. I know that when I counted, I did my 2016 gaming setup video. At the end of that video, we counted all our home consoles and handhelds. There were 44 systems.
44.
So,
oh my god! I have like 4.
But you do have kids who have their own DSs and PS Vitas.
Yeah, even my 3-year-old has a 2DS. So there's a lot of old school systems I've gotten. I got 3 Nintendo 64s, 3 GameCubes, Sega Saturn, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Sega Dreamcast, old stuff, crazy stuff, Neo Geo Pocket Colors, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, original Xbox, Xbox 360. I got 5 PS3s. I've got 6 PSPs. There's 4 PlayStation Vitas in the house. There's 5 3DSs in the house. There's just tons of stuff, that's what I spend my extra money that doesn't go into savings accounts and paying for, tuxes and stuff for the kids. When I have a little extra, I'll put it aside for a game that I want, or I'll go on eBay or something and buy an older system. One system that you just mentioned that broke my heart that I don't have is a TurboGrafx 16. Mine is in Canton, Ohio, at my uncle's house. It's at my uncle's house, and it's been so many years. I forget what transaction that we went through years ago, but it was ours. Ended up being his. But we had a lot of fun playing Bonk's Adventure, Keith Courage on TurboGrafx 16.
I got Keith Courage still, yeah.
Oh, you
Bonk's
do?
Adventure,
Tell me yours. Yeah. So there's a lot of consoles here in my house. I'm sorry. I have a Wii U sitting here that is used for my YouTube.
It's holding. It's currently leveling out a table leg.
Literally,
good paperweight.
My Wii U, of all the new consoles I have, the Wii U gets the least amount of playtime. I have 2 Wiis, but the Wii U gets very little playtime. I feel so bad about it because some of the games on the console are truly breathtaking. Bayonetta 2, I have the unopened Bayonetta 2 in the living room, never even been opened because I got to stick it in a fucking Wii to play it, a Wii U. I got a lot of consoles, and I don't see an end in sight for me collecting. I got the Game Boy Advance Micro. It's this small. It's a Game Boy Advance. Yeah. I got 2 Game Gears, 2 Game Gears at work. I've gotten just tons of stuff, man. There's a lot of shit. I don't even want to think about it. It's hurting my head. But I've been collecting for a long time, and I don't see an end in sight. That's why I don't sell games, and that's why I'm really hesitant about maybe repurposing the $60 I spent on this and getting something I'd really enjoy. But that part of me that's a collector is like, I bought a game that isn't bad, it isn't good. Maybe it just is what it is, and I'll keep it in there in my game shrine for now.
It's a bag of dicks. Throw it away.
Damn. You're right, Robbie.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. You guys got anything coming up this week that you want to share with the folks?
Well, I'll have a ton of videos going up this week, of course. Hopefully this week I'm not feeling like crap like I've been for the last 7 days. I actually got sick last week right after the show. And it's been that way ever since. It's been a roller coaster of hell. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of heaven this week. But look forward to some good videos on my channel. If you guys haven't seen my review for Quantum Break, it went up this morning on the Beastly Gamer channel. Check that out and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you.
Robbie?
First things first, I want to make a quick shout out because I saw my mother was in the chat. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hello, Mom.
She's awesome.
Everyone say hi, Mom. Yeah. But yeah, I don't usually like to tease things, but there may or may not be, and I can't keep this promise, but there might be a Dark Souls 3 stream this week. I might just be doing that because I really do want to get into streaming, but I don't know. My setup just isn't the best for it. I want to figure it out, but I might just give it a try. It could be fun because I'm going to get my ass kicked in that game, and I think other people would enjoy it.
I would enjoy watching you get your ass kicked, even with your mother here.
Of course you My mom can watch me get my ass kicked.
His mom is so cool. She'd probably enjoy watching him get his ass kicked. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. Now, in Bloodborne, you can actually play with other players using the online components of the game. Is there anything like that in Dark Souls 3?
Yeah.
Yep. You can invade people. People can invade you. All of that.
Wow. Whoa. Oh man, it's on and cracking again.
I know, man. It's so amazing how, like, I used to never give a shit about Dark Souls. I did not like it. Then I played Bloodborne, love that game, and now I am, like, so excited for Dark Souls 3. Like, I've completely changed my mind on that franchise. I love it now. Absolutely.
What about you, Brian?
Obviously, I'll be playing Destiny. The new update comes out on Tuesday. Challenge of Elders. I'll be doing some YouTube videos of that. I'll be doing a lot of YouTube videos, like new weapons, new Challenge of Elders, new content. How does the Crucible feel with the sandbox changes? Tons of videos, but I'll also be streaming quite a bit right here on Twitch. So I got a busy week planned, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like I'm amped for this week. Like I am really excited. So I can't wait for Tuesday. It's gonna be a big day. But now I'm gonna go out to dinner with my wife and eat some sushi.
Oh, you're the fucking man.
I know, right?
Oh, man. Speaking of sushi, we have a fantastic sushi restaurant here that makes, like, homemade. It's really good. Like, it's really quality sushi.
Cool.
Now, when you say homemade, do they actually make the fish?
They have, like, a big fish tank, and you tell them what you want, and they just grab that fish out of the fish tank.
I remember there's a really good sushi restaurant here, though. Shut up, guys. I don't know if it's that authentic, but it's pretty close. It's delicious, though. It's fantastic.
I love some sushi.
Good.
Good.
I think my mom knows what I'm talking about.
You guys have a good time. I haven't seen the wife in a long time, Briar. You send her all of our love, man.
All right, we'll do. And remember that time? Didn't we do like a dual com with the two wives?
Did we? I don't know. We planned on it. I don't think we did.
No, we never made it happen?
Never made. We should have, because our wives don't even fucking go on YouTube anymore.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back next week. If you missed any part of the show, you can check it out on any of our 3 YouTube channels. I'll have links in the description of my YouTube channel if you'd like to check out Robbie or Beastly's YouTube. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, everybody. Bye.